Guys, it is brutal out there. Do not quit your day jobs. Here are a list of companies, major companies, that have announced that they intend on doing layoffs. It is not going to get any better anytime soon.
Did y'all know that in 2025 alone, there's been a little over 806,000 layoffs already?
Over 62,000 job cuts were announced in July. This pushes the total number of job losses in 2025 to over 800,000 jobs.
We are not only headed for a recession, but a possible depression. Companies are going to start announcing mass layoffs.
So I think I'm being laid off from my job today.
I got laid off again.
I will be losing my job after September 30th.
I just got laid off yesterday.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday.
And unfortunately, this morning I got let go from my job in a series of layoffs.
While the unemployment rate remains low, it has edged up. Job gains have slowed and downside risks to employment have risen.
Welcome to Real Talk, a channel dedicated to capturing the raw, unfiltered perspectives from everyday people. No commentary, no interruptions, just real people sharing their frustrations and opinion about the economy. My goal is simple: provide a space where you can hear authentic rants, opinions, and stories from all walks of life. So make sure to like and subscribe and enjoy the rest of the video.
Guys, it is brutal out there. Do not quit your day jobs in June. I don't care what's going on, how rough it is, how stressful that job is for you. Unless you have something lined up, do not bounce. Right here, I'm going to post them on the screen. Here are a list of companies, major companies, that have announced for June that they intend on doing layoffs. It is not going to get any better anytime soon. I understand you may hate your job, but unless it is a mentally damaging position where it is so toxic that you are just going to harm yourself or it's going to degrade your quality of life, stay in your job. The phrase "do not quit your day job" has taken on a completely new meaning in this job market.
I saw that Intel made a recent announcement that they were doing a RIF, a reduction in force, of about 20% of its workforce. Its workforce is 109,000 people, in-person staff. So that is roughly 21,000 jobs. I also saw that UPS plans to cut about 20,000 employees. I know this is kind of old news, but that's going to be one of the largest in U.S. history. So then I decided to hop over to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics to see where we're standing so far this year. It looks like 1.8 million people were laid off or discharged in February 2025 alone. That brings us to 3.5 million layoffs and discharges in 2025 so far. That's pretty big. So far, just January and February is what the data has been reported. Layoffs and discharges total 3.5 million, and that is 2.7% higher than the same period in 2024. In February 25, that data that I had given, so the 1.5 million, that looks like that stands for about 1.1% of all employed people. That's huge. So when I dig a little bit deeper, the layoff and discharge rate was highest in the professional services industry in February. Second to that was construction, and then information, leisure and hospitality, retail, trade, transportation and utilities, manufacturing, wholesale trade, financial activities, education and health services, mining and logging, and then government. So again, a lot of us think that all of this is happening in the government sector right now, but it's not. It's happening a ton in the private and public sector as well. And so just something to think about. And if you're an employer and you're thinking about doing this, I come alongside organizations and help them determine who should be RIF'd and at what frequency, and make sure that it's set up appropriately so that you're legally protected and then employees that are impacted are taken care of. So reach out. I've got an HR firm, Salt and Light Advisors, and we're happy to help.
So I think I'm being laid off from my job today. If you couldn't tell by my appearance, I have been crying all morning. I haven't even had my meeting yet, but I got a calendar meeting today from someone I've never spoken to at the company, and a bunch of other people did too. So I am recording this because I feel like a lot of people can probably find comfort in knowing they're not alone. So we will see. Maybe it'll be something positive. Maybe I'm not getting laid off, but I am shaking.
That does impact your position. Today is going to be your last day.
I've loved my time here and I'm very thankful for it, so I appreciate it. I did not think that that would be my last day. My laptop's not even working anymore for me to like save things like.
What up, guys? It's Tech Sales with Sauce. I have 11 years of tech sales experience, 6.5 dedicated to the enterprise. So let's talk about something that's controversial. I see a lot of people on TikTok and YouTube talk about how great of a career tech sales is, and it's been a great career for me for the last 10 plus years, right? But I want people to know that if you are trying to break into a competitive sector like tech sales, if you've been in it for 8+ years, the odds of being laid off or pipped up, being on a performance improvement plan, basically being shoot out of the organization, the odds of that happening if you've been in tech for 8+ years is very, very common, very, very high. It's happened to me back in 2020. I was laid off during COVID, and it was a really soul-searching time for me to be able to kind of develop and understand, do I want to go into sales? Do I want to further this opportunity? Do I want to go back into law? Do I want to do something else? But eventually I stuck it through, and I had a breakout year in 2022. Pretty much a career-defining year for me where I made a ton of money. But that's all to say that if you are looking to break into tech, you need to realize that to not let lifestyle creep come in and have money stashed away, but also understand that you probably will be laid off. In this market especially, right? I think it's very competitive. And in order for you to understand that, you'll be able to build a really comfortable nest egg in case something bad happens.
I got laid off my job, y'all. Now, being how personal this is, I was not going to talk about it, but I seen so many others impacted online, so I got to tell my story. And I've been working IT for over 15 years. I transitioned from UPS over to this company because I thought it was a fresh opportunity on the restaurant technology side of IT. And the reason why I need to tell my story, because just something just seems off about it. I was the only one of us on the team, and just the way that the entire layoff was handled was a little bit sketchy. So I got laid off on July 21st on that Monday. Didn't even get to start work. I got called into a meeting as soon as the workday started. The way that the meeting went was pretty much, hey, we need to restructure. This is strictly a financial decision, and your particular position has been chosen to be eliminated. Now, mind you, I'm the only one of me on the entire team. Actually, it's probably, I think, 2 of us in the entire company. But they bring in a new guy a couple weeks before who does the same thing that I essentially do, minus building menus, but he comes in with a different position name. So this threw me completely off because, mind you, I have no reason to believe that my position is in any danger. None whatsoever. Like, minus a little bit of coldness, the past, I would say, like, year from my CIO. But as far as, like, my other team members, everything was straight for the most part. Like, I looked at them guys as my brothers, so I thought. I even worked on my cousin's funeral day 2 days before because I didn't want to take bereavement time. Now, of course, I still ended up going to my cousin's funeral, but that's how dedicated I was to the team. I didn't ask for bereavement time. I literally worked, jumped in our everyday Monday meeting, and then I cut out for the funeral a couple hours after and was even checking in on work throughout that day. So when I tell y'all that this layoff completely came out of left field, I was bamboozled when I got called into that meeting. There was no empathy in the meeting at all, none whatsoever. It was pretty much from him just, hey, you know what? This is a financial decision. It's just business. And that was it. I was immediately locked out of all systems, couldn't get into email or anything anymore like that. And then there was no type of follow-up after to ensure that I was okay. Now, this is where it starts to get tricky at. So I was promised 3 weeks of severance, a payout for my vacation time, but 2 weeks went by and I heard nothing from HR. So mind y'all, once again, I was laid off on July 21st. I sent them an email on Friday, August the 1st, didn't get a response. And then on Monday, August the 3rd, I sent them another email and finally got a response. So to say that they don't have their shit together is the very least. One of the HR representatives that emailed me back didn't even know what the hell was going on. Now, mind you, I still have the company equipment in my possession. I got everything because the company is 100% remote. I'm here in Nevada. I didn't get anything. Now, also the way that I was paid out. So when you get laid off, I'm pretty sure based on whatever state you in, I'm in Nevada, that you're supposed to be paid out at a particular time. So the week that I worked before, I got paid out like the following week as if I was a regular employee. And then for that Monday that I worked, the day that I was laid off, I got paid for that Monday the week after. So I didn't essentially get a last check. I didn't get paid out for my PTO. Mind you, today is what? August the 12th? I still haven't been paid. Now, I'm telling my story because I've been on a whirlwind trying to find the right attorney to help me out. Now, I did speak with one who read over the severance agreement and determined that the severance agreement was kind of fair, but he just couldn't understand why the Virginia statutory laws were on the paperwork when I live in the state of Nevada. Now, let me backtrack a little bit so I can finish telling the story. So last week when I sent out that second email on August 3rd, I finally got a response. Now, they ended up sending me out a severance agreement that wasn't right. And then also, I filed for unemployment here in the state of Nevada and was denied because there was no actual history of me working since 2022 when I left UPS. So the company could possibly be based out of Florida. They could possibly be based out of Pennsylvania. So I filed unemployment in the state of Florida as well, the state of Pennsylvania, and got denied for both of those as well. So at the moment, HR is currently scrambling and scraping, trying to get this figured out so that I can get unemployment, but I just don't know which state it's going to be. And mind you, I talked about my vacation time. I still haven't been paid out my vacation time, and it's been, 3 weeks? Something ain't right. So essentially, I'm sharing my story with y'all to see if any of y'all out there have dealt with a similar situation and what you did. Because like I said, I did contact an attorney to go over the severance paperwork. I got a little bit of guidance from him as far as what could possibly be done. But, it was a lot of talk of, $245 an hour and this, and it might be hard to find a contingency lawyer. So if anybody out there sees this video and you got any advice, please drop it in the comments.
2025, I'm going to need a refund because this year sucks already. I just got laid off for basically the second time back to back. If you didn't know, I worked at Twitter and I got laid off when Elon Musk acquired the company. Since then, I've been working at a content strategy agency type place as a director of strategy, and I just got laid off yesterday. It's surreal because I definitely didn't want to go through another layoff. Being laid off the first time was one of the most traumatic events that have ever happened to me, especially because it happened so publicly. This time was obviously a little bit different, but the company lost some clients and now here I am without a job. It's hard not to reevaluate my life choices at this point. I work in tech, and so I'm wondering if that's still what I should be doing. It's hard to feel secure in a job anymore. It feels like those days are over. So I don't know if I should be in tech anymore or working this corporate life. I love the security of having a stable job, but that hasn't been the case for quite some time for me because it's just been so unstable in the industry. So I'm considering other options, obviously. I had a wild idea. I think somebody on TikTok said, hey, become an ultrasound tech. That takes 2 years of schooling and then you're in. And I was like, sounds good to me. But again, I also really enjoyed my job doing marketing, strategy, working in the digital space, working with tech. It is fast paced and it's very exciting. So I honestly don't know what to do. If you have any advice for me, I would love to friggin' hear it because I'm swirling. This all happened yesterday. So I've been waffling between panic applying to places and just rotting on the couch. Would love something more constructive to do with my time. But if you have any advice, any tips, any job leads or connections, please let me know. I'm in the Bay Area, remote work, anything. I want to be busy. I'm somebody who likes to do things. So this is my plea to you, TikTok. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, where to start? I've been laid off for my tech job. I don't know how to feel about this situation. And me doing this is such a vulnerable thing that I'm doing, because one thing, coming from an African home, you don't put your dirty laundry out there or that you went through a hardship. I put so much effort, so much time, late nights, weekends, finding mentors. Like, I put so much of my resource, my blood, my sweat, my tears. It all came to an end 2 weeks ago. When I got the phone call, I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know if I should cry. Should I cheer? Should I be happy? Should I be worried? I didn't know how to feel at the moment. I told my friends, I told my therapist. All of them called me and was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm okay." A couple months before it happened, I questioned myself and my position. Oh, shit. Questioned my position and asked myself, is this something that I can see myself doing long term? And I already knew the answer to it, and it was no. No, I didn't see myself, but I was not ready to let go. And so one thing I've learned is that if you don't let go, it's going to let you go. I just feel like my job had to be taken away from me because I started losing sight of my purpose of moving out here to this new city. And so now I'm free and I'm starting over. And I want to document this journey. I want to look back at this when I'm that girl. I mean, I'm already that girl, but when I'm it girl, and be like, I'm proud of you. We did it. And I want to take you guys along this journey with me. And so me doing this is me stepping out of my comfort zone. I know there's a lot of layoffs happening right now. For those that are going through a layoff, just know that you're not alone. We are in this together. Let's just hope I actually post this video. And if you do get the chance to see this video, just know that it wasn't easy.
I will be losing my job after September 30th. I don't know if I'm gonna be laid off. I don't know if I'm gonna end up finding something before then within the same realm. But I am not the only one that's gonna be laid off. In my department alone, by the way, before we start, I work for Miami-Dade County, local government. And I just want to bring awareness to what's going on because I don't see this in the news. I don't see this on Google News. I don't see it on the TV, our local news. I don't see this information anywhere. So I had no idea this was coming. We had no idea this was coming. And now we are being faced with being laid off on September 30th. We are expected to get a letter soon, probably within the next 7 days, letting us know our next step, basically, if we're going to be laid off, demoted, with that pay, with the demotion pay, not the pay that we was getting before, or put on part-time or sent here or there. I don't know. When I tell y'all I'm so confused right now, I think I'm hurt more because of how confused I am. So all of a sudden, abruptly, I get a notice to come to a meeting. And I didn't make it to that meeting because I was really sick. And I didn't even know it was going to be a meeting. Listen, the meeting was called late at the last minute, like a real true emergency. So it was for the next day though. But I didn't see none of that, so I didn't know anything about it. So the weekend went by and I was told that we had to come to the meeting if we missed the meeting, which was me. So I go to the meeting and I see a bunch of HR people lined up and my bosses, like my big bosses, and I'm looking like, what's going on here? So they go to tell us that we will be impacted by budget cuts. And it's not just we, like our entire department, the entire department. And then I'm not even gonna get on that yet, but the entire department is going to be impacted by budget cuts. So I'm still quiet. So then they say, if you haven't been here for 5 years, you're not invested, whatever the case is, you will be a part of that impact. And just so it's happened, I just left from my teaching career of 6 years to come and work for the local government. And a lot of people might want to say, why did I do that? Whatever. But it was just more free. Like, I don't know. It was something, I wanted a different scenery, so I did what I had to do. I could easily go back to teaching. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do, but I can go back. So anyway, they tell us they're going to put some new positions up there. We can apply. Some of them will be full-time, some of them will be part-time. Make sure that we are eligible not eligible. We're qualified. We are qualified to work those positions. My problem is, it's in my department, they're laying off the managers. In my department, my little division, whatever, they're laying off the managers because the managers are easier to cut and have one manager for several employees at the same location. Like, they see it like, why would you need 2 managers at the same location when one manager could manage everybody? And I get that. And I agree. Because when I first got there, that's what I thought it was. And then I come to find out it was 2 managers. And I was like, why? And I was over these little group of people, and that person was over the other group of people. So that was just, weird or whatever. But neither here or there, I didn't create the wheel, and I wasn't trying to recreate it because I was involved anyway, right? So all of a sudden, somebody get the bright idea that, yeah, it need to be one manager, and they control all of those people at that location. No shit, Sherlock. But in the process, families, hundreds of families. I'm not bringing this to y'all because it's just me and my little tiny department. That's a total of 50 people, I think, in my department. Salaries being taken alone. And I don't know how much they get paid or whatever, but right there is probably like, about $1 million, 1.5 million. And then it's probably way more than that. I said 50, huh? I don't know. But anyway, it's millions of dollars. So by millions of dollars, so that's one department. And they just, when we was asking questions, nobody know why. Nobody know how. And I come to y'all with this, not to only bring awareness, but I like to know how. I like to know why. And to just be abruptly taken from my comfort zone when I wasn't even looking for a job, it bothers me. And I'm wondering, is this even possible? Can you just scream budget cuts and just let hundreds and thousands of programs and employees just go like that? Can you just do that? And who is it to benefit? It's not going to benefit us in the long run. We already know that. So who is it benefiting? Then I turn around and I do more research all to find out that my county is funding the World Cup next year. And it will really hurt me to find out that I got cut from my job so a motherfucker could play soccer. Now, I'm not saying soccer is not a good sport or none of that. What I'm saying is, if it's not broken, what's there to fix? You gonna cut all these fucking people off, all to turn around and watch soccer and have a cold heart about it? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had a certain respect for our mayor here in Miami-Dade County until this happened.
The Great Restructuring is not a joke. If you've heard about it, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't heard about it, then we'll listen up for a quick second. So I've been seeing a lot of videos about layoffs just changing up the corporate world in general due to many factors. Just want to give you some stats. I'm reading an article right now and listen to this. Over 62,000 job cuts were announced in July. This is the highest level of job cuts since the early months of the pandemic. This pushes the total number of job losses in 2025 to over 800,000 jobs have been lost. It's saying that there's many different factors for this, but one of the biggest reasons, and we all know this unless you're living under a rock, is because of AI. AI alone, it was cited that over 10,000 jobs were cut because of it. Last month, July. And this statement was put out from a career coaching company, which I'm actually using. So this isn't fake news. I don't know. I just wanted to give those facts. I think this is a little scary. AI is here to stay, I believe. It just keeps growing. So I guess learn what you can about it. Don't fall behind the curve. Or find something that has nothing to do with AI. I don't know. Everything does these days. So that's what the great restructuring is about. I don't know. I'll keep you guys up to date on what else I read about this. It's truly bananas. Bananas.
If you have less than $1 million in assets, please listen to me very carefully. The market right now is down 1,600 points again today. We are not only headed for a recession, but a possible depression. Okay, so what's the next domino to fall when markets crash? Companies are going to start announcing mass layoffs. If you have a job, okay, and you don't have at least $1 million in assets to ride out this wave, please go to your boss and say, is my job secure? And if the company starts to pursue layoffs, what would I need to do to secure my job? Take on other duties, work more hours, do whatever you can, because getting another job to replace the one you lose is going to be extremely difficult in this economic environment. And it doesn't look like it's gonna get better anytime soon. It's getting worse by the hour. Please protect yourself and your family and your job before it's too late.
So I got laid off my job today, and it sucks. It really sucks. I've only been with the company for 2 years. Well, it'll have been 2 years in June, so you know how we like to sprinkle a little extra on it. So let's say 2 years, and it sucks. Now, they did give us a warning like 2 weeks ago, like, hey, we're downsizing. We're going to let off some people in different departments, but we won't let you know until the 14th. So today, mid-shift, they let me know, hey, I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go. They gave me a 2-week severance pay. And it sucks. I envy those who have gifts and know their passion, know what they're put on earth to do. Just working a job and that little stability and security gets snatched away from you for no reason because they're downsizing. It sucks. It's a sucky feeling, but it is what it is. In this economy, you need 2 people working in the household. Yeah, my man can handle all the bills, but who don't want to be working making their own money? But maybe that's the problem. I don't need to be working. I need to be starting a business. My friend told me God's protection, redirection is God's protection. So there's something better out there. So God is good still, in spite of. But this feeling sucks. So we gonna feel the feeling, feel the emotions, and let it go. What's next? What's next?
What's going on, guys? So I've been hearing about these tech layoffs like Microsoft, Amazon, Procter & Gamble, US Bank, and man, I feel for you guys because I was actually recently laid off as of March, right? I was with P&G as a digital marketing senior manager on a project with Fabricare. But the thing I suggest to you guys is try to take this time to be more entrepreneurial, try to find angles like, and take advantage of side hustles and learn about investing. Just be more innovative in this time.
Can I say something so cliche? And I swear I'm not looking for attention. I just want to put this out there because I know other people feel the same way. I turned 27 in like 10 days-ish, and I feel so lost. I was laid off from my job like 3 weeks ago, and I know that like that's not my fault, but I feel like an absolute freaking failure. I have friends who are having babies and buying houses and traveling the world, and I don't even have a job. And it sucks. It freaking sucks, dude. And I know that people are gonna go, oh, well, you know, your life is your own, like, you know, there's no like right or wrong time to do anything. And I get that, but like I genuinely thought that maybe this year my husband and I would buy a house, that maybe this year we would start trying for children, and then I got laid off, and literally all of that got derailed. And I know I shouldn't put my worth in like worldly things, and I shouldn't, you know, my job doesn't define me, money doesn't define me, but like it kind of does, you know? And I'm trying to look at this as like my whole like Oprah got fired when she was 25 moment, and like that this is just a turning point and rejection is redirection. Like I really am trying to frame it this way, but it's freaking hard. It's so hard, and I just want to be on the other side of it and like look back and be like, oh, like she didn't know, like it's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be fine. If only she knew that in 2 weeks she'd have a job and it's gonna pay her X amount. Like, but I'm not, I can't see the future. I'm not there, and so I'm really just like in this state of like feeling like I'm so far behind in life and so lost. Like I'm so lost, and there's not really a point to this video. I'm not trying to garner sympathy. I'm not trying for people to be like, oh my gosh, girl, like, no, it's gonna be amazing. Like, I mean, if you want to tell me that, please go ahead, because it won't hurt. But like, I know there are other people who feel this way, so like, I kind of just want to commiserate. Like, it's just hard out here. It's freaking hard. And the one thing that keeps me going is my writing. But like, I've kind of come to the conclusion that I can't query this year unless I get a job. Because there's absolutely no way that I can handle double the amount of rejection. Like, I'm gonna go insane. I saw someone say that 2025 is like being awake during surgery. They hit the nail on the head.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession's gonna come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession's coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long, or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry-level work as a senior-level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every like 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming, because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for like months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where like my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was frickin' HR, and they read off a script, but my whole team got laid off. And this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now. My partner is a first responder, so I'm very lucky for the fact that I can be leaning on him for support right now, because luckily his job is secure, thanks to the fact that number one, his job is essential, and number two, he has a union behind him. What I will never understand is why corporate agencies have not unionized. We're not allowed, right? We're not allowed. That's part of it. We'll get fired because at least in this corporate world, they're always going to side on the side of business because that's what's making the government money. This world right now is not supporting people. It is supporting business. You are just a number, unfortunately. So please prepare yourself for shit like this. I wish I would have. I wish I'd been applying to other jobs months ago. I just was so dumb to not realize the signs. I want to talk about it. I think people need to talk about it. I think we need to make this more public. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is? If you know of anything in the marketing space, let me know. Use my comments as a way in which to maybe trauma dump. I don't care, vent. I'm here for you guys. I can't believe this. And I'm really sorry if you're going through this too. Here for you.
Layoffs are going to keep happening, and I want to talk about this. Tap in, money friends. You always want to make sure you like this video, save it, follow for more. Stay tuned for the next couple months. There's going to be some good stuff on here for you, but I want to talk about this because did y'all know that in 2025 alone, there's been a little over 806,000 layoffs already? And I want to share a personal experience because when I went through layoffs, I got laid off December 2nd. So in the fourth quarter, historically, that is a massive time for layoffs. But it was the Salesforce CEO for me. So not only did he just confirm 4,000 layoffs, but look at this comment. Like, you could have just kept this to yourself, bro. We get it. Because I need less heads with AI. Y'all, if there is no clearer writing on the wall, it is 2025. Job security has always been an illusion. It is even more of an illusion now that we've been sold to believe that companies will maintain their loyalty. Back in the day, it was expected that people could stay at companies 30, 40, 50 years. Today, we don't operate in the same time. And my heart goes out to the people that are losing their jobs. That is not anything that you ever want to personally experience or want other people to experience, but it is a part of business. And sadly, in 2025, a very huge part of business. When you start to understand business in general, employees are a company's biggest expense. So even though it seems really personal, businesses are going to do what they have to do. And so here's my call to action to you if you're listening to this. There has never been a better time for you to put yourself in a position where you are taking more control of your income, where you're learning skill sets in industries that are really recession proof. Like when I think of financial services, for example, we are coming across the biggest wealth transfer we've ever seen before. You guys will go through my videos and hear me say that over and over, and it's for a reason. But we're also coming up to what's called the silver tsunami, where more than 30% of financial advisors over the next 10 years are going to phase out of the industry. What that means is there's going to be a lot of unmanaged money and a lot of orphan clients. But what that means for you is massive opportunity, not only to learn how money really works, but to get state and federal credentials that at the end of the day, people don't want their entire life savings being managed by AI. Like at the end of the day, computers are computers. People still want someone they can trust to help them navigate their financial lives. And so I want to encourage you. Let's connect. Let's talk about opportunity. While there's so many layoffs going on, y'all, we're expanding like crazy. We're expanding in all 50 states. If you're over the age of 18 and you have a willingness to learn, we will make sure we get you fully licensed. We'll make sure that you get all the training that you need, but you cannot give somebody the desire to want to win, the desire to want freedom. I wanted to be in this industry to do the right thing for people and do what's right all the time, but also to have full freedom in building a life that we can build as a family around the things that we value. And something that I value is my time, being present for my babies, building those core memories, doing all of those things, but also participating in the free enterprise system, right? Participating in a system that doesn't tell me that I'm worth $50 an hour, or a system that can say at any point in time, hey, we don't need you anymore. And so building this business has been the best decision me and my husband could have ever made. And if that's something that is an interesting conversation to you, let's connect. Comment info below, because y'all, this is literally still in the midst of what we're still going to keep seeing in terms of layoffs. And you and your family deserve to build something that no one can take from you.